Predictive tech. What AI has in store for us in 2025. An Accelerator Lab report from Jaywing. Forward. In the 1960s, a week was a long time in politics. Harold Wilson's famous quote summed up the febrile atmosphere at a time where events seemed to overtake each other on a daily basis. In the 2020s, you can make the same claim about artificial intelligence. With advances in AI seemingly being made by the day, it would take a brave soul to make a prediction for the coming month, never mind the coming year. Thankfully, at Jaywing, we're in a better position than most to look deep into our crystal ball. We've been pioneering the use of machine learning in marketing for well over a decade. Now we've established a home for these skills at Jaywing. Our Accelerator Lab unites experts in AI, creative, data science, media and strategy, with the goal of unlocking deeper insights and transforming complex data into clear actions that get results for our clients. We've brought two of the lab's leading lights together to take a look at how AI will evolve in 2025 and what that means for agencies, clients, creatives and the wider world. They won't be right about everything, but few people are better placed to give an insight into the trends driven by AI in the coming year. The authors: Malcolm Clifford, Technology and Strategy Leader. As lab leader, Malcolm oversees the strategic direction and daily operations, guiding the team's efforts to deliver cutting-edge data science solutions. Malcolm's experience in predictive analytics, statistical modelling and data-driven strategy has made him a key figure in the evolution of Jaywing's data capabilities. As employee number 4, when Jaywing started 25 years ago, Malcolm was blazing a trail in this field when most agencies still thought data was Jean-Luc Picard's android friend from Star Trek, The Next Generation. Joe Crawforth, AI Research and Development Leader. With over a decade's experience in marketing analytics, natural language processing and back-end software solutions, Joe is instrumental in building advanced AI applications that power smarter marketing strategies. Joe has worked with high-profile clients such as Fair for All Finance and ADT, while his passion for exploring the future of AI, including collaborations with the likes of Google, ensures the Accelerator Lab remains at the cutting edge of technological innovation. He remains disappointed that AI cannot definitively predict whether Leeds United will be promoted this season. Contents. 1. The state of play. What's happened in 2024? 2. Foundations. General AI predictions. The rise of multimodal AI interfaces. 3. Informed decision making. How hyper-personalisation and data quality will revolutionise customer experience. 4. Powering productivity. The potential of mass content production and advanced automation. 5. Measuring impact. Synthetic audiences and the growing importance of relevancy in AI applications. 6. Wildcards. Some personal predictions from Malcolm and Joe. The state of play. Joe. We've seen some big leaps in the development of AI in the past 12 months as models have become ever more sophisticated. Multimodal systems can now consume images, text and audio simultaneously across both proprietary and open source AI providers. OpenAI released a swathe of updates including real-time internet access and a new O1 preview model that seems to think about the solution it's going to provide, giving itself a logic path to solve a user's request. Meta has been leading the open source frontier by allowing developers to download their models, fine-tuning and implementing their own hardware with performance mirroring that of proprietary providers. Google have been focusing on their Gemini model, integrating it across many of their services, most notably search, where AI overviews of search queries are changing the way users consume information. Apple, Microsoft and Google have all been integrating AI within their operating systems, giving users the ability to access AI to support them in their day-to-day life, from creative writing support to image manipulation. Malc. Regulation has been a big theme, none greater than the EU's AI Act, the first comprehensive legislation to regulate the use and adoption of AI across Europe. Its extraterritorial scope means that any company offering AI-powered services or products within its member states must abide by these regulations. The Act sets strict restrictions on high-risk applications, designed to improve transparency, accountability and safety, but has been criticised as inconsistent across member states as well as potentially hindering innovation. The license for Meta's latest Llama 3.2 excluded EU users. In contrast, the UK is taking a pro-innovation stance by continuing to pursue a principle-based framework with a focus on safety, fairness and accountability, which has received a generally positive response from the industry. This approach has now been interpreted and applied by various UK regulators, including the FSA, Financial, the ICO, Data and Security, and Ofcom, Communication and Broadcasting. In practice, the use of AI is no further regulated than it has been in the past, but it's clear that regulators are monitoring the use of AI carefully and will act to ensure compliance with the overarching principles outlined. The fact that guidelines are both flexible and outcome-based is positive in terms of helping innovation, but there's a clear rationale for regulators to act where core principles aren't upheld. This means organisations need to take an informed and considered view towards safety and compliance when it comes to AI initiatives. Foundations. General AI predictions. Joe. Multimodality will become more commonplace, with combinations of images, text, video and sound becoming more mainstream. This means the way we interact with AI will become more varied than simply relying on the text-based interfaces of the last few years. We're already starting to see this change with OpenAI, Anthropic, Google and Meta, who are all giving users the ability to present videos, images and sound along with text, with models able to form responses from a multimedia format. I expect us to start seeing more services that offer a truly multimedia response. OpenAI already enables users to generate images within chats, but as it currently stands, this only happens based on user request. This works because a chat model that was trained on text and images can call another model which specialises in generating either images, video or audio. As the performance improves with each iteration, the ability to call on these models to respond to a prompt will be integrated without explicit request. The second breakthrough will come as the big tech players introduce devices powered by AI. Apple and Microsoft have been at the forefront of this research, as they seek to launch devices with enough power on board to host AI models natively. This will allow models to perform tasks on their devices for their users. Imagine saying, "Hey Siri, find that email from Joe Blogs from last week. Search the web for their company accounts and send a screenshot to Jane in sales." This will open up a new world of possibilities for everyday efficiency. Informed decision making. Joe. Over the past 20 years, the importance of good data foundations has been one of the hottest industry topics, yet many businesses are still lacking in this department. AI is only increasing the importance of having a good data foundation, as it gives us the tools to be able to use the data for almost anything, whether that be automated insights, personalisation or content creation. But to maximise the full potential of AI, context is key, and a business's context is its data. In 2025, we will see companies try to adopt AI and fail due to GI-GO. This isn't a new regulator or set of laws, it's a maxim as old as computing itself. Garbage in, garbage out, and it will force businesses to invest in data foundations to unlock the full potential of AI. Malk. For a long time, chatbots have been used as automated customer service agents, but in most cases they are driven simply by information on the company products and processes. Improved AI modelling harnessing the power of large language models, LLM, to interpret context and communicate effectively is likely to lead to much greater personalisation for consumers. We're already starting to see this, particularly in the travel sector, but I think it will become much more widespread across many more sectors in the coming year. Personalisation has been heralded as the next big thing in marketing for decades, but for all the advances in data and modelling, turning a personalised decision into a customer interaction was always very challenging. That is no longer the case when individual customer information such as past purchases, requests, questions, personal details and so on can be fed into an LLM as context, and the model can output a natural language response directly to the consumer. This could be transformational in terms of how consumers engage with businesses. A website search box that currently needs a product input could become a virtual assistant which asks the customer what they are looking for and can interpret unstructured responses such as, "I need an outfit to wear to a wedding," in the context of items the customer has viewed and purchased previously. In travel, it could be, what events are near the hotel I'm staying at which would interest me? The ability of the AI-driven customer interface to personalise these recommendations is very impressive, but the response could still be disappointing if the data in the background isn't harnessed and interpreted properly. Customers will quickly get used to best practice and will favour organisations that can deliver these personalised experiences accurately and effectively. Since AI is now provided the final piece of the puzzle, the race is on to give customers genuine personalisation and exceptional experiences. Powering productivity. Joe. One key benefit of large language models and generative AI is the ability to take context from many different sources. Images, videos, text and audio can all be consumed and interpreted by these models. This means that in 2025 we will see more and more tasks being automated, driving significant efficiencies for businesses. Mundane human tasks will be adopted by AI as the role of humans moves from producer to editor. These efficiencies will arguably enable humans to do what humans do best, to think and be creative. AI doesn't have the ability to be independently creative, in brackets, as Coca-Cola's recent Christmas ad proves, close brackets, allowing us to do more imaginative things with our time. Malk. I can already detect some weariness when people read generated output. Each of the big models has a distinctive style in terms of words it commonly uses and structure of response. We've already demonstrated, with Jaywing's authenticity score, that generated content in a given text can be reliably identified and even quantified in terms of balance between generated and original content. Humans are learning to do it too. An English professor recently told me that AI-generated essays are still remarkably easy to spot. But these are early days of generative AI, and most people are simply using the basic chat interface to produce this content. The underlying models are quite capable of generating content in pretty much any style you want if you give them the right instructions. I think a lot of effort in the next year will go into creating generated output which adopts the distinctive style or tone of voice of organisations and perhaps even individuals. This can be done in one of two ways, either through detailed context and prompting or through fine-tuning of the model itself. It remains to be seen how successful and reliable different approaches will be. I do anticipate by this time next year some organisations will have a reliable content generator which produces content in the style required by brand guidelines. This will be a big advantage for organisations that can achieve it because they'll be able to produce much more relevant content at scale and place it where their customers will see it. The downside is that quality of the content must be maintained to make sure engagement doesn't suffer as a result of it being generated. Measuring impact. Joe. AI's use in search is not new. For over a decade we've had the results of search engines defined by AI algorithms, with both Google and Bing now directly integrating AI-generated search results within their services. Creating content that is authentic and relevant has never been more important. Generative AI makes mass content generation easy. It is authenticity and relevance that will be critical in 2025. Having the ability to measure and quantify these seemingly human constructs is going to give agencies and their clients a huge advantage over the competition. OpenAI are also entering the search game, with the new Search GPT feature recently added to their arsenal of products. Search has been dominated by Google for decades, and while some regular ChatGPT users may find this useful, experience tells me that Google is a leader for a reason. Their data and foundations have been built over many years, and it will take a lot to disrupt the market significantly enough to move users looking for that next purchase, holiday, or even the latest news away from Google. Therefore, we should not expect major changes in this space in 2025, and as long as you can quantify, measure, and optimize your authenticity and relevance, you will stay ahead of the game. Malk. The capability of chatbots to respond as different agents has driven interest in using the technology to create fully synthetic audiences built of individual AI personas. Deep learning models have already been built using actual human responses. For example, eye-tracking data on different creative outputs, enabling a model to predict a human response to a novel piece of creative. This has proven to be invaluable input into the creative process to help ensure impact is optimized. Synthetic personae take this even further by offering the potential to simulate qualitative customer feedback, brackets e.g. focus groups, as well as quantitative testing like the success of a media strategy. Advances in this field have been impressive, with one research paper identifying that 70% of observed impacts in market research papers could be recreated using entirely synthetic audiences, although that clearly also demands further improvement. There are several challenges still to be solved to create synthetic audiences which accurately recreate human consumer responses, but these will be progressively overcome to the point where synthetic audience testing is likely to become an important part of marketing. Synthetic focus groups could be used when the cost or time needed for human focus groups are prohibitive, but agencies will also begin to use synthetic audiences more widely internally to provide information on the effectiveness of different media strategies or to determine which creative route will be most effective before they even go in front of clients. Wildcards. Joe. Generative AI will democratize creativity to some extent. We will see digital art created by people who have never used Photoshop, photorealistic pictures of places people have never been, and videos of scenes that have never been shot, all from a text input box. This could strike fear into the heart of professional creatives, but I think it should actually excite them, because when they adopt these tools, they are unlocking a greater potential. From art directors generating storyboards to copywriters instructing a model to instantly make edits that would usually take them hours, AI isn't here to replace creatives, it's here to help them be more efficient. Malk. I think all creative industries, not just advertising, will change more than some people are happy to accept, and AI is likely to play a big part in that process. Firstly, AI will use data to generate a much more detailed and nuanced view of the landscape for any creative project. It can help increase the search space for ideas and speed up the organisation of those ideas, turning concepts into executions in a fraction of the time it used to take. The ability to fully digitalise an idea, e.g. a character, a logo or an image, and then manipulate it easily and quickly into different formats for different channels and executions is another significant time saver. Finally, there is the measurement side, which I discussed previously. Creatives will no longer need to trust their instinct about what are the most successful executions of an idea, because there will be quantitative data to support that decision. I think the skill of creatives remains essential, both in terms of using the tools to produce better outputs, which Joe mentions, along with more emphasis on being a director or editor and making the key decisions rather than actually working up the ideas. All of us, to some extent, have to accept that bits of our jobs are already done better by AI, and creative is no different. But it's important to note that in the foreseeable future, I don't see any move towards reducing the involvement of creatives, overseeing the whole process, and ensuring the final quality of the outcome. Nevertheless, creatives who do not embrace AI will eventually be replaced by those who do. Thank you. If you'd like any further information or to find out how Jaywing can support you with your AI strategy, please reach out to hello@jaywing.com.